In just a few weeks' time, a blockbuster, homegrown Australian Museum shark exhibit will open. It will feature actual shark specimens, so I'm off to see the ichthyologist. Resident fish expert Amanda Hay is trawling through the collection to get ready for the shark show. But the sheer size of this unusual menagerie makes it difficult for Amanda to select just 11 specimens for the shark show.
Would you like to touch the great white shark?
I'm not touching any of this stuff.
You'll never get another
no, thanks.
opportunity.
No. Oh, right, okay.
to
Well,
touch
what a
a
sell.
white shark. You'll notice that
You love it. You'd climb in there with it.
I would.
The great white is staying in that bin. Instead, Amanda has chosen a rare and biologically significant species for the show. The Goblin Shark. It spends most of its life in darkness, as far down as 1.3 kilometres.
This specimen here was collected in about 1987.
Right.
From off the south coast of New South Wales. And one of the cool things about the Goblin Shark is you can see this really long snout. And the reason we think that it's so big is because it has this extra sense. All the sharks have this extra sense called ampullae of Lorenzini. So those electroreceptors pick up movement of other animals. And so what they do is they'll swim along the bottom, they'll sense something moving, and then they'll throw their jaws out of their mouth to grab the prey.
This collection of sea creatures was the first in Australia and is one of the most diverse in the world, making the museum an important resource for scientists everywhere. Signature exhibitions like sharks are using the museum's vast research archive and state-of-the-art technology to present science in a totally modern way. The exhibition gallery is where the big shark show is ultimately going to end up, but at the moment there's a whole lot of action happening in a secret location west of Sydney. But first I have to find the place. There are only 5,000 items ever on display, so most of the museum's vast collection of 22 million objects is stowed away. The museum safeguards the bulk of its treasures in purpose-built warehouses. I've got a golden ticket to have a poke around in what I hope will be a scene from Indiana Jones. Brimming with specially constructed crates or stillages. Random deer. Yeah. In climate and humidity controlled spaces, the museum warehouses priceless historical taxidermy. This is the best way to meet a cassowary, stuffed in a box. It's still intimidating. Along with precisely articulated or reconstructed skeletons, as well as cultural pieces from Australia and the Pacific region. So the Pacifica collection is your expertise?
Yeah, we can take a look at some of it. It's right over here.
Logan Metcalf is one of only a handful of curators who have access to these treasures. How many items do you have in this facility?
It's over 300,000.
And what percentage of stuff do you have on display?
Around about 2%, and that's a rule for museums pretty much across the world.
Because of their rich cultural value and relationship to the sea, some of these South Pacific treasures will be selected for the shark exhibit. And Logan consults closely with the communities to decide what will go on show and how it will be presented. Back in the labyrinth of corridors, I'm off to get a rare glimpse at some of the museum's oldest and most valued treasures. down here in these storage rooms, away from the well-lit displays and public view, Chief Scientist Chris Helgen leads the museum's efforts in species discovery and preservation. These unremarkable cupboards conceal an incredible time capsule.
Doesn't look too old.
So this specimen has been with us since 1845.
That is amazing.
A mummified encyclopedia of a couple of hundred years of Australian flora and fauna.
Think about it, in the future, 100 years from now, 200 years from now, the idea is this specimen will still be here for scientists to study. That's an extraordinary thing, and that is sort of an agreement that museums have made with society.
Last year alone, the museum's Research Institute found 218 new animal and plant species. So who knows what other secrets are waiting to be revealed in these cupboards? Every specimen, like these extinct little potoroos or rat kangaroos, is filled with critical information about our world and the state of our environment.
The kinds of questions and puzzles are enormous. If you want to understand what was this species, what was it related to, what did it eat, where did it live, why did it go extinct, all those kinds of questions, you need to get access to the specimen itself. Maybe we can study its DNA. Maybe we can study this chemistry of its skin and reconstruct what it ate. Those types of marvelous things that we can do with modern science. So only by looking after these specimens in these cabinets do we really kind of end that chaos and bring some order and organization to our understanding of life on Earth.
Australia has the worst record of mammal extinction on the planet, with 50 animal species lost since the museum started collecting specimens in the 1860s. None more famous than the one I'm dying to see, the thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger.
You've got more than one.
Yeah, we do, and some of them are just absolute stunners. So I always get a bit sad when I look into this cabinet.
I know,
We're reflecting on something that is no longer with us.
Yeah, it's sort of bittersweet because it's exciting because it's such a famous extinct animal in Australia and the world. So it's exciting to see it, but yeah, it's also bittersweet it's still not with us.
Absolutely.
In September 1936, only 2 months after the species was granted protected status, the last known individual died.
We always kind of look at the tag to tell the story. And,
what year were you looking at there?
This one, it says, came to the museum August 14th, 1890. This is a specimen of a thylacine. It's never been on display. It's only ever been carefully curated outside of the light in a climate-controlled area here behind the scenes in the museum.
Okay.
And it shows that kind of rich gray-brown color and the dark stripes, just a much more richly colored animal than most people imagine.
These furry remains could contain even more scientific insights. But Chris is keen for me to see a special specimen, preserved in a very different way.
This is our famous little Thylacine Pup.
That is outstanding. This would have to be the most famous specimen in the wet collection, is that fair?
I think it might be. It has kind of an iconic status. It's this heartbreaking picture of a well-developed Thylacine pup, and it's preserved entirely intact.
Stored wet in an alcohol solution, scientists have access to the entire animal, every part of its anatomy, and even its genomic sequence. Chris and his colleagues really are the custodians of capturing a moment in time. By investigating this enormous archive of specimens, they're trying to understand the natural world around us. Not just to marvel at old species, but to save contemporary ones as well. Almost forgot about the big shark show for a minute. It's taken almost 3 years and the combined efforts of dozens of specialists from around the globe. But the Australian Museum's Shark Show is finally open. It's a full house, and every corner of the main gallery is packed with shark science. And some familiar shark specimens from the ichthyology collection. Plus 30 carefully curated cultural pieces, including the prow of the war canoe and the Tongan shark shaker. The impressive life-size 3D printed sharks are now fully assembled and suspended in place. It's jawsome.
As an outsider, it's easy to assume that the museum is just a dusty old place full of all kinds of dead stuff. But when you pull back the layers and get behind the scenes, nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, curation and preservation of old stuff is the museum's superpower. Because once exposed to science, the clues hidden within its artefacts and specimens are bound to solve the many mysteries of the natural world.